In this module of tools and equipment, we're going to discuss some of the heavy equipment used in the restaurant industry. Refrigerators and freezers come in various sizes and styles, from the left hand with the double door stainless steel refrigerator to the right hand merchandiser style refrigerator with a glass door. The benefits to the glass door is that you can see inside the cooler without having to open the refrigerator. Additional refrigeration units, such as refrigerated make stations or sandwich stations, can be utilized in restaurants to keep the ingredients cold while being serviceable and easily accessible to the cook. They also come in a portable module to be able to use for things such as catering functions and whenever space is limited in a kitchen. Additionally, under-the-counter refrigerators are often used to be able to store product right there accessible to the cook whenever they are on the line or in their area of operation. This way they can keep product below them and they just reach down, grab it, or they can use it for refilling as well. The workhorse of refrigerators is the walk-in cooler. The walk-in cooler is designed to be used for large bulk storage of items, but also to be able to use for operations that have the space to keep products separated from each other. The walk-in cooler can be either a singular module, such as the one shown, where it's either a cooler or a freezer, or it can be a combination of the two, which has the walk-in cooler in the front passing through to the freezer in the back. While not as common as some of the others, this handy wall-mounted refrigerator lettuce crisper is designed to hold gallons of lettuce ready to be used for cold, crisp salads. They have a polycarbonate hopper that can be taken out, cleaned and sanitized, refilled and replaced with ease. The range, often referred to as the stove, is an indispensable piece of heavy equipment. You can simmer, saute, char, roast, bake, and steam using this versatile piece of equipment. The stovetop can have up to from 1 to 20 burners, or as many as you want to customize. The ovens below are traditionally what is known as conventional ovens, as they do not circulate air like a convection oven does, although you can produce models that are convection ovens.
Before I show how to start the range, I'm going to go over some of the features of the Vulcan Endurance range. The Endurance range features a fully welded, super strong frame, extra heavy duty burner grates, 30,000 BTU burners, an efficient flash tube pilot which allows you to operate one pilot per 2 burners, and this will save you about $300 in energy costs a year. The Endurance range also features an extra deep chrome tray with welded corners, a very heavy duty oven door with strong springs integrated, and 2 oven racks come standard with the Endurance range. Next, with gas flowing to the range, you want to light your flash tube pilots. Remember, on the Endurance range, there is 1 pilot for every 2 burners. To light the oven pilot, first push slightly up on the kick plate to open it. Next, push down on the red pilot button and hold it down for about 15 to 30 seconds. While holding down the pilot button, light the pilot. After you light it, continue holding down the button for about 15 more seconds and check to see if the pilot remains lit.
Unlike the conventional range top most kitchens have, the French range top acts like a griddle, burner, and wok station all in one. The pan or pot can sit directly on the metal surface for gentle heating, or the concentric rings can be removed to access more direct flames. There is no adjusting temperature on the control knob with the French top. Once turned on, the French top will take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to thoroughly heat the plate due to the density of the iron. With a high-powered burner underneath the center ring of the French top, the highest temperatures are achieved in the center. The heat then continues throughout the rest of the plate, dissipating as it travels further away from the center ring and the kitchen burner. The outside ring and corners have the lowest temperatures. After the French top is fully heated, then you are ready to begin cooking on the versatile space that accommodates several pots and pans. The benefits of a French top: best for cooking delicate foods that tend to scorch easily on direct heat. The French top uses indirect heat on the flat surface, ranging from high temperatures to the delicate simmering temperatures. This center ring can be removed with a provided tool, and the exposed flame can be used for wok cooking. Keep the center ring in, and you can boil water with simultaneously simmering a delicate risotto on the outside areas. This high versatility also means you can intuitively slide pots and pans around without ever having to lift the cooking vessel or readjust the heat manually. The real reason why most chefs love the French top, though, is for simmering capabilities. Since it's using indirect heat, it doesn't evaporate as much moisture as direct heat does from open flames would. This allows for better development of flavors and is excellent for delicate dishes such as risottos, robust sauces, and savory soups. The French top is also excellent for keeping foods warm without overcooking. Or once you turn off the French top, you can even consider putting racks on top of it and using the residual heat to keep food warm until you're ready to serve. Similar to the stove, the gas griddle and gas grill are lit using a pilot light. The griddle is used for sautéing, searing, cooking pancakes or bacon or any number of foods. Its principal use is when you need a large surface with controlled heat, either for browning or for flat items. The grill is used for, well, grilling. This countertop gas model is convenient for small kitchen areas, but you can also have the larger options, such as this large wood-burning charbroiler from Aztec Grills. Convection ovens work by circulating the air around the food using a motorized fan inside the oven. This allows for better, more efficient cooking. The fan speed can be adjusted from off to low to high. Combi ovens do the same work as a conventional oven with the additional added benefit of having steam or moisture as an option. Steam is a highly effective way of cooking many products and helps to the development of crusts on items such as bread. Some combi ovens will even smoke foods and dehydrate foods. Many of the newer styles, such as the Alto Sham pictured, are self-cleaning and even have their own water source for filling up water baths. Convection and combi ovens often come in various different sizes, from countertop models to freestanding models that have speed racks that can be rolled into them. Deck ovens, often referred to as bread ovens or pizza ovens, usually come with some sort of hearthstone surface or metal surface that the food can either rest directly on or sit in a pan on that surface. This type of oven is typically used when baking breads or in pizzas, hence its nicknames, because the crust development gives a nice crunch to the food. From a simple tabletop model to models with self-draining and filtering capability, the deep fryer is an indispensable piece of equipment in many kitchens.
The fryer is one of those tools that's indispensable in a lot of kitchens, but it's important to understand the safety concerns with it.
When you're filling up the fryer, make sure that it's closed properly. Make sure that it's filled at the proper level. If you overfill a deep fat fryer, it could potentially overflow.
Making sure it's at the right temperature. The oil gets too hot, it can smoke and actually burst into flame.
When lifting tongs from an ice bath, remove any excess water.
Please don't put anything super wet in the hot oil.
You have to know what can go into a deep fryer and what can't.
Always dry any utensils or food before putting them into hot oil.
The moisture, as soon as it hits the fryer, will cause some spattering.
There can be a big splashback from something like that, and if you're close by, that's probably the worst burn that you can get in the kitchen.
Lower food slowly into the fryer.
The food has to be put into the fryer in a motion that is sort of going away from you. Just make sure that you're not hovering over the top of the fryer when you're putting the food in. You got a little bit of distance behind you.
When removing a basket from the fryer, allow time for the oil to drip off the food. Keep oil from dripping on the floor and clean up any spills immediately.
To all of the very privileged cooks who I work with today who've never cleaned a deep fryer, you have no idea what you're missing out on.
When you're changing the oil, make sure the fryer cools down and then change the oil and clean it properly.
Clean them regularly. A lot of times, a lot of buildup gets worked up around the edges and it causes fires, which could lead to serious safety issues.
Only clean or operate a deep fryer if you've been properly trained.
Steam jacketed kettles are used for simmering and cooking things for a long time at a consistent heat level. Stocks, soups, stews, etc. all need to be controlled temperature environment, and sometimes stoves and stock pots are not the best solution. Because the food is cooked in a kettle that has steam surrounding the inside of the tank instead of a flame directly on the bottom of the metal pot, the food is cooked evenly and gently with no scorching. Steam jacketed kettles can cook 4 gallons or 400 gallons consistently and evenly. A tilt skillet or braising pan allows you to create large batches of seared, grilled, sauteed, or simmered food without the mess and inefficiency of stock pots and ranges. Tilting this braising pan is safe and easy since it has truncheons connected to the gear and control consoles. With a hand crank tilting mechanism, you can slowly lift this tilt braising pan and maintain complete control while emptying the skillet's content. Plus, the pouring spout and removable strainer directs food to the hotel pans or food storage container when you lift the pan for emptying. This highly specialized cook station is designed for woks. It has extremely high temperature gas burners that allow for faster than saute cooking. It will often be plumbed with running water for rapid access and a drain for easy cleaning. The salamander broiler is a standalone appliance that can be located on a countertop or above a range that uses a powerful infrared ceramic broilers for everything broiling perfect steaks to melting cheese on casseroles. Due to its higher heat capacities versus broilers located inside the oven, the salamander's performance far exceeds that of even pro-style ovens. Salamanders are also extremely convenient in a restaurant environment since they allow broiling or finishing to be done without taking up valuable oven space. The benefit of the salamander is enhanced power as well as precision. And if you're wondering where the name comes from, it's derived from a 17th century cooking tool that was used for many of the same things as today's salamanders, but it just took a lot of more work. Restaurants utilize the salamanders mostly for a few reasons. First, its high heat is extremely efficient at broiling and searing proteins such as beef or chicken, giving them a steakhouse feel, not achieved in an in-oven broiler. Secondly, it moderates and low heat settings are perfect for delicate items such as seafood, melting cheeses, and caramelizing sugar on desserts. And finally, what may be the most important feature is that these items don't take up valuable space when preparing the ultimate meal. Rotisserie ovens come in various sizes from countertop to large multi-product units. They provide an even cooking environment for food, allowing it to rotate and evenly expose itself to the heat or the flame. Rotating the product also has the added benefit of keeping the juices rotating back to the inside of the food, keeping the end product extremely juicy and moist. Restaurant smokers range from small smokers that cook one thing at a time to large commercial smokers that can cook hundreds of pounds of food. There are gas, live wood, pellet, puck, electric, and a combination of any of these. Smoking gives a unique flavor to the food as well as helping to change the texture of the food. Steam wells, such as the one pictured here, is used in kitchens to keep food hot during service. They often do not have the capacity or capability to take cold food and heat it to a safe temperature. Food should be hot before putting it in this type of service equipment. Food cookers and warmers, sometimes referred to as nitro cookers, stemming from the company branding, are designed to not only hold food hot, but also to bring them up to temperature in a timely manner and even cook certain types of food. Toasters come in various sizes and configurations, from the more familiar slot toaster to the gravity conveyor toaster, but the basic principle is the same for all. Adjustable radiant heat is used to toast the surface of the bread. From simple bamboo steamer baskets, a sandwich steamer, and the more complex industrial steamers, steam is an efficient and effective manner of heating and cooking food. Every professional kitchen, whether big or small, has to have a commercial vent hood and fire suppression system. This vent hood is designed to pull the smoke out of the room, and the fire suppression system is designed to put out a fire in case of an emergency. This topic will be discussed in further detail in a later module. Vacuum sealers come in a variety of sizes. The home-style vacuum sealer, which is used for small jobs or small quantities, is perfect for restaurants that do a small amount of vacuum sealing products. This type of system does not pull a good vacuum as the commercial variety does, but works fine for cooking sous vide as long as the seal is tight. Commercial vacuum sealers are designed to pull a tremendous vacuum, and even in some cases to replace the air with an inert gas such as nitrogen to preserve the food. This is a process called modified atmosphere packaging, or MAP. Thermal circulators are used for a cooking method called sous vide. Sous vide translates into under vacuum in French. The food is placed in a vacuum bag or a heavy-duty zip-top bag with the air squeezed out, along with any flavoring components the chef may want to add. It is then submerged in water bath, and the heater is turned on to a specific temperature the food is desired to be served at. The water is slowly circulated to keep it at a precise temperature. This method allows for food to be put in the water in the morning and used that evening with no appreciable loss of quality. It will stay at the proper temperature until served, keeping the food moist. Seafood, vegetables, meat, and the applications are just endless. Even cooking a steak to the perfect medium rare from edge to edge is possible. Once the steak is ready to be served, it simply needs to be removed from the bag and seared on both sides to get the crust formation, a technique called reverse sear. From chafing dishes to heat lamps for carving stations, and from the buffet warmers to service pieces, the buffet is a natural money maker for restaurants and caterers alike. Oftentimes, these operations will have multiple of each of these, allowing for a seemingly infinite setup configuration. Induction cooktops cook by using magnetic fields that heat up the metal pot. They require special pots for the usage. Aluminum pots and pans will not work because it is not ferromagnetic or is not susceptible to magnetism. Stainless steel, cast iron, and carbon steel pots or pans are best for use with this type of cooking surface. Let's summarize and discuss some of our takeaways for today. Takeaway number 1. Refrigeration is customizable and scalable to the operations needs. Takeaway number 2. Lighting a commercial stove is more complicated than lighting a home stove. This is done for safety reasons. Takeaway number 3. The French top cook stove is preferred by many chefs, although it is less commonly seen in restaurants. Takeaway number 4, steam is gentle yet efficient, effective method of cooking and heating. Takeaway number 5, when planning a kitchen, consider space available and what equipment to use, as many take up large amounts of space and is not necessarily a single task unit or a multitask unit. And takeaway number 6, not all vacuum sealers are alike. Consider the usage and utilization for the machine when determining which to buy. This presentation will attempt to give an overview of the different smallwares and pieces of equipment that you'll experience in a restaurant environment. However, it's not an exhaustive list. For more information, I suggest ktom.com, which can be accessed at the link on the screen.